Hi, it's Hans at ahappierman.com. Today's topic is weight training tips for older men, exercise selection. I think you'll find that as you get older, you want to be more and more careful in what exercises you choose to work out with. Some of the weight training moves are just too dangerous and unforgiving, and you want to minimize the getting hurt. That when you get hurt as an older guy, takes you a lot longer to recover, if you even can. For example, I hurt my elbow in the year 2016, and it took until the year 2022 to feel right again, right? That's like about 6 years to feel good again. That's what, that was a nerve damage type of an injury. It just takes that long. So getting exercise selection, I think you're better off kind of following the starting strength style of exercises, and that's mostly what I do. And those exercises are the squat, the bench press, the standing overhead press, and the deadlift. They have a couple of assistance exercises that they recommend that I really don't do. I just do those 4, and then I have a couple of things that I also do. But with those 4, if you can learn the correct form on the 4 and just focus the most of your workout energy on those 4, you're going to be working out your whole body with them. Your back, your arms, your chest, your midsection, and all of your leg structure and your arms. So that's basically it, right? The exercise selection, and you want to make sure that you work toward learning them in the correct way with the proper technique, and take your time on these and gain your confidence and your technique over time. And then what happens is it'll be difficult to do all the moves correctly at first, and that's why you want to start very light, and then you want to get practiced in them and use the starting strength book and the guidance on that website to learn how to do things correctly. And I've got all 4 of them dialed down very well, I think. And the only time I have some tweaks on the injuries is if I try to overdo it and lose the form. If you can keep the form, your chance of injury is reduced dramatically. And if you focus on performing the lifts safely in the right location, which means when you do squats, you're in a rack, so there's a catch. So if you fail a rep, you put the bar down on the rack. The same with the bench. If you miss the rep, it falls on the rack, not on your neck or face. With the deadlift, well, you don't need, you just need to have the floor right. And the similar with the press, you want the right press setup though in a rack, so it's easy to unrack and re-rack. And that's basically it on the exercise selection. All other exercises have a tendency to hurt you. Like, let's say you want to do dumbbell presses. The dumbbell presses and dumbbell bench presses, they're very difficult to get in the right position as you get heavier weights. And so I like those movements, but as an older man, they're very unforgiving. They hurt. You have a tendency to hurt your wrists holding the dumbbells. It's very difficult to get them in the right position. Unless you're very young and very resilient, I would tend not to use the dumbbells on those movements. Barbell rows, that's a great movement. I used to do barbell rows, and I worked up to some massive weights on these, and they did help my back. But again, there is a unforgiving nature to them, with the very nature of how your back has to be. So I would be careful with the barbell rows. Same with the dumbbell rows. The dumbbell row might be a little bit better because it's going to be half the weight, and you're going to be supporting yourself with your hand. That might be a better back exercise. I cannot do chins. I guess I'm too heavy to do a chin. And plus, when I do like pull downs, it's very, very hard on my old shoulder injuries. So I just can't do them, right? So you have to listen to your body and say, you know what, I just can't do it. It just hurts. If it hurts when you're doing them, you can't do them, right? It isn't good for you, no matter how great the exercise is. Some exercises are just by their very nature no good, like upright rows. We've all heard that that's the wrong way to do things. Pec decks, flies, as much fun as those are, and as much chest stimulation as you get from those, as an older guy, I just can't do those either. Even though, I enjoy the pump you get from flies and pec deck work. Excessive tricep work, again, that can be difficult on your elbows and on even in your shoulders, getting in position, and you got to be careful on the tricep work. Barbell curls, that seems to exacerbate my elbow problem, so I do some dumbbell curls. The problem with the dumbbell curls is you can't titrate the weights just little by little, right? There's these 5-pound jumps, and when you're working a smaller muscle group going up 5 pounds of workout, you can't do it, right? You got to think in terms of, you'll get to a weight you can dumbbell curl, and that will probably be it, right? You're not going to keep going up in dumbbell curl weight unless you inject yourself with steroids of a very powerful nature. What else? Well, calf work. You don't really have to bother with calf work if you're doing heavy squats. Leg extensions, leg curls, again, and leg presses. You don't need that if you're doing heavy squats. So give that idea some thought, all for now.